Chandler-Gilbert men's basketball team is trying to hold on to the second playoff seed and hold off tough fourth place Scottsdale. Big league matchup as the Coyotes and Artichokes face off live at the Coyote Center. Joe Pequeno alongside Matt McCurdy. Doubleheader, game two. Of course, this one monumental. As we look at the league standings, Matt, oh so tight. Pima, of course, rolling, ranked number 2 in the country, 15-0. Then it's a logjam. Glendale and Chandler-Gilbert tied for second place, 8-6. Scottsdale right behind them, one game out at 7-7 as the Coyotes and Scottsdale meet late in the season, and this one a big one in the league standings.
Yeah, I mean, this is huge. This could determine a lot of factors as they move into that end of season playoff rounds and really deciding who plays who. They could be playing, potentially, if they lose this game, Pima in the first round of the playoffs for the conference championship. So a lot of factors here as they play tonight to be considering as they're on the court.
Coach Steve Silsby and the Coyotes, 15-11 overall, looking to right the ship, riding a 2-game losing streak. They haven't played since last week, a heartbreaking road loss in Mason.
Absolutely.
After leading by 10 at the half. And then, of course, a home loss against undefeated number 2 Pima. And there is no disrespect in that one whatsoever. On the other side for Scottsdale, led by head coach Curtis Millage. They're coming off an 85-79 win over Phoenix College. Zach Anderson led the way with 19 points, hitting 5 threes. He leads the team in scoring at 12 a game. Tyson Helms adds 10, Javen Yancey 9 and 5, and Alex Williams 8 and 5. Coyotes, Will Coates, lower body injury, he will not play, and that has been such a detriment for the team. So Javen Price and fellow true freshman Connor Aldridge putting up 10 apiece. They have to come up big. Ollie Hinder, another true freshman, putting up 9 and 4. Cohen Aldridge and Carter Crab, more freshmen, putting up 8 apiece, combining for 7 rebounds. Coyotes average 70 points, shoot 44%, 33% from 3, 62% from the line, 36 rebounds and 12 assists. Scottsdale averages 74 points, shooting 44%, 34% from 3, 62% from the line, 37 rebounds and 15 assists. And it's really gut check time now for Steve Silsby and his team. Look, they have faced so many injuries. They have faced so many uncertainties in the course of their season, but they are never one to cry about their scenario. They know they got a bow up, next man up mentality. And whoever steps on that floor tonight, 150% full throttle from the opening tip.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the Coyotes are going to need to bring tonight to really succeed and play well. When you look at the stats, these teams are pretty evenly matched, but I can tell you, Scottsdale's bringing the hunger, they're bringing the passion. If the women's match was anything like what we'll see tonight, they'll be all over the place because they want to be headed to that playoff round with a better ranking than the Coyotes, and vice versa. I know the Coyotes desperately want to take the win here tonight, and so this is going to be a match to watch very closely.
Chandler-Gilbert has the best scoring defense in the league, allowing 64 points, while Scottsdale gives up 76 points. Rebounding, Scottsdale and Chandler-Gilbert in the middle of the pack at 37 and 36 respectively. As we mentioned, the squads have met twice this season. Coyotes winning a tight one at home, 59-54. Ollie Hinder with 18. Scottsdale returned the favor, winning at home, 73-65. Tyson Helms with 15 in the win for Scottsdale. Will Coates with 15 in the loss for Chandler-Gilbert. And now Matt McCurdy is going to have the starting lineups. So Scottsdale being introduced. Their starting lineup: Kenya Jackman Thomas, number 1. Number 3, Zach Anderson. course, we've talked about him. Alex Williams, long, lengthy, athletic. Number 13, Tyson Holmes, and number 24, Tarek Hamblin. Now it's going to be on the other side for Chandler-Gilbert. It's going to be number 5, Javen Price. Number 12, Lockie McCain. Number 21, Cohen Aldridge. Number 32, Carter Crab. And number 40, Ollie Hinder.
The freshman point guard, number 5, Javen Price. The sophomore guard, number 12, Lockie McCain. The freshman guard, number 21, Cohen Aldridge. The freshman forward, number 32, Carter Corab. And the freshman post, number 40, Ollie Hinder. And head coach, Steve Silvey. I think it's the right game on David Gonzalez. And Bob Hunt. Boys, good luck. And
your referees for tonight's contest, Zaid Alamin, Bob Hunt, and Damian Gonzalez, as we are getting ready to tip this one off. Can't stress enough how big this one is. Matt, here we are, late February, but for both these teams, face it, everyone's in playoff mode right now. A loss here or loss there, you go from 2 to 4 or 4 to 2. Every game's so crucial for both sides.
yeah,
Of course, for Chandler-Gilbert, they've got this. They got Glendale in a big matchup Saturday, and then they finish on the road with the pair against Phoenix College and then South Mountain on the road.
yeah.
And we'll tip this one off.
And I mean, Joe, you can't stress the importance of these games enough. I mean, in a conference where it's so competitive, and obviously Pima at the top end of that competition, but every team in between is just fighting for a spot to take the lead and take that second, third, or fourth ranking position.
Hinder against Alex Williams, and Hinder. Floater won't go, and Carter will get called for the loose ball over the back on Tyson Helms. But look, I love the aggressiveness by Ollie Hinder.
Yeah.
We've seen Ollie shy away from post physicality, and that time took it right to Alex Williams, and that ball just rolled in and out.
Yeah, I hope we see that all night. Ollie Hinder's got the body. He can push into somebody and really take to the rim, and we need to see that consistently.
Shot at the rim, wouldn't go. Going back the other way. Javen Price gets the team in the half-court offense. Ollie gets another touch quickly, trying to get him going. Ollie, little floater. That one's off the back of the iron. Alex Williams, so good in the first matchup here. And Alex Williams, and they're going to call the foul on Ollie down in the blocks. And that is what Alex Williams is capable of doing. He's athletic, can put it on the floor, can attack. He's got a good little 10-foot shot. Alex Williams has shown his ability in this conference to do a lot of damage. Helms off the inbounds, works it to Williams. Picked up by Connor. Williams gets double teamed down in the post, and they're going to call Cohen Aldridge for, looks like he's stepped out on the baseline. Helms off the inbounds. Williams will go right back to him. Connor Aldridge and Helms, 16 on the shot clock. Shot is fired up from the outside, and that is completely missed by Tariq Hamlin. Tariq from Syracuse, New York. And they are working it out as they're going to call the foul on Lockie McCain, his first.
And Joe, if these first few minutes are any indication, this is going to be a battle of a game. Both these teams want to win. They've played each other now, this being the third time. And we saw in the women's game, tensions rise, aggressiveness comes out, and already we've had several fouls and changed of possession. So I think it's going to be a good but intense game.
I think for Chandler-Gilbert, keep Scottsdale try to limit their touches, and that is fired up from long range by Zach Anderson. We talk about Zach Anderson leading this team, 12 points a contest, and comes out gunning. Ollie upstairs, picked up by Williams immediately. He was trying to work it down to Lockie down in the post, and that one is thrown away.
And you can tell Lockie looking towards the ref, saying he was held a little bit. That's why he couldn't get to the pass in time, hoping he was going to get a call there. And it looks like he was trying to notify the ref.
This one a big one. Chandler-Gilbert tied with Glendale for second place at 8-6. Scottsdale 7-7. And they're going to call the foul on Javen Price. And it's 4 quick fouls on the home team.
Yeah.
In the first minute and 42 seconds. Zach Anderson. And the last thing the Coyotes need is get in foul trouble. They don't have they don't have a deep bench. Can't afford to get any of their starters in foul trouble. Zach Anderson gets the screen from Williams. Anderson inside to Williams. Hamblin. And just how we saw in the women's game for Scottsdale, the men, artichokes, good ball movement, and dissect the Coyotes in the half court. On the other end, Cohen blocked on the back end as Tyson White make that Kenyon Jackman Thomas on the block. 20 seconds on the shot clock as Coyotes are looking for the first bucket. Jamin Price dumps it into traffic, and it's going the other way. And we kind of talked about that inbounds. Sometimes you want to work it inbounds to the middle of the paint, but it's so congested.
Right.
Just get the ball in your offense, right?
No doubt.
Tegan Maloney is about to check in, and right now, Steve Silsby is the center of attention. His team's down 5, looks sluggish on both ends, and there's got to be a spark lit, and there has to be a moment where, for the Coyotes collectively, the fire is going to start permeating because there's so much on the line in this game, and it's all about playoff position. And they're in a tenuous situation, tied for second. A loss here and there, they're in the 4th spot. And then what does that lead to in the playoffs? You're going to Pima in the first round.
Absolutely, yeah. This is an important game, and look, they're trying to find the rhythm. We hope they can come out strong in this first few minutes. The fouls are not helping. That slows down the game. That throws off the rhythm. So hopefully they can clean it up and get something going.
And that's a good sign for the Coyotes as Jackson Thomas throws it away. And now that Coyotes bench, led by Parker Larson, has been injured all season, making some noise. Connor Aldridge works it out to his brother, Cohen. Picked up by Jackman Thomas. Ollie upstairs to Cohen. Cohen works it to Lockie. 7 on the shot clock. Maloney from long range misfires. Hamlin loses the handle. Hamlin gets it back, works it to Williams. Down court, Zach Anderson. Anderson off the glass, won't go. Bodies tumbling. Coyotes 3-on-3 on the break. Lockie fires, and Lockie buries it. And a big basket by the Coyotes, their first field goal in this first half. Tara Camlin almost lost by Jackman Thomas. Anderson off the mark. Cohen Aldridge, open floor. Picked up by Helms. Slides it down to Ollie, and Alex Williams, long in length. Tries to swing it to Helms, who couldn't catch up on the track meet down the floor against Lockie McCain.
And already you can start to feel a little more energy coming from the Coyotes, starting to find a little bit of a rhythm. A few bad passes here and there, and I'll tell you, Alex Williams making himself known as a presence on this court that he's going to be protecting that inside on both the offense and defensive end.
5-3 ball game. Nolan Christensen checking in. Nolan works it up top to Cohen Aldridge. Good defense by Scottsdale, really rotating well. Nolan tries to set a screen. Worked over to Tegan Mullowney. Alex Williams comes out. And that pass thrown away as Mullowney was trying to connect with Connor Aldridge in the corner. Scottsdale, rotating bodies. They've got a healthier bench, and by now, Coyotes have got to maximize every possession. Luckily, through the first 4 minutes of this one, both sides a little sluggish offensively.
Absolutely.
Hamlin, Williams down in the blocks, a mismatch with Lockie. Williams, little jump hook, won't go. Mullowney skies for the rebound. Mullowney, right side, will slow it down, gets it to Cohen. Cohen, picked up by Jackman Thomas. Nolan Christensen works it to Cohen. Cohen, couple dribbles, surveying the floor. Cohen in the lane. Euro, short off the iron. Down floor, Zach Anderson. And Mullowney with a great hustle move and pickpockets Zach Anderson. And that was just a hustle play that in the course of this one could loom large for the Coyotes and a tone setter.
Yeah.
Zach Anderson up the floor, looked like he was going to have an easy basket, and Mullowney. And now it's Steve Silsby having a conversation with the referees. 5-3. McCain with a three. Zach Anderson with a three, and Tara Camblin with a bucket inside.
Yeah, the Cats are in an interesting position tonight. You know, when we look back at that Aztecs game just last week, the one area I will say that they did tremendously well is locking out the three-point shot for the Aztecs. The Aztecs only shooting 16% from the three-point line in that match. So tonight, they don't want to allow Zach Anderson or anyone from Scottsdale to take those shots, but Alex Williams is going to be a problem down in the paint, so they got to kind of play both ends of the field here tonight.
And tonight, the head coach of Park University, Gilbert, for the men's side, is here. Catching this one. So now the referees getting in sync. White ball. Of course, Chandler-Gilbert decked out in the home white and teal. Scottsdale in the black and green. Thomas in the game. Christensen in the game. Lockie picked up immediately by Helms. Good dribble by Lockie. Works it to Thomas, fires it up from three. And Thomas from long range.
Great shot.
Big basket by Thomas. Coyotes with the 1-point lead. Helms inside the free throw line connects.
And those threes are going to be so crucial in this game. You mentioned how the Coyotes have a short bench. Every extra point, so that outside shot becomes so crucial for their game. And we've seen when they're not hitting the outside shot, how it can just devastate them offensively.
Zach Anderson gets called for the foul. Checking in, number 23, Jabin Yancey, as well as Jabin Price, number 5 for Chandler-Gilbert. We saw Jabin get off to a really slow start against Pima last week. He was in foul trouble early, and that led to him never being in rhythm in that game. It's imperative he gets off to a good start in this one. Thomas picked up by Anderson. Thomas gives it back up to Jabin Price. And Helms and the Scottsdale bench felt it was off Price. Of course, they'll campaign for every call, and rightfully so on both sides. Nolan Christensen up top. Jabin worked over to Connor Aldridge. Connor lets it fly. Connor sizzling from three. Coyotes with 3 threes in this first half. 9-7 lead, and that is thrown away. Helms was trying to dump it down to Yancey. The mismatch was there. Yancey picked up by Jabin Price, but pass just a little too strong. And now we have members of both women's basketball teams in the crowd. Alex Williams with the steal. Alex Williams and one, as Nolan Christensen with a foul from behind. Alex Williams, those long strides, that long wingspan, athletic. Always fun to watch Alex Williams. Played well in the opener when the Coyotes won the first matchup here. Of course, he's a factor when he steps on the floor for this team.
And Alex Williams, tonight kind of feels like one of the few members of his team really locked in early here in the first half. Some of the other team members throwing bad passes, and you can hear Coach Millage trying to get them on track, get them locked in, and Alex Williams really leading the march for his team.
Misses on the three-point play.
Good pass.
Nolan Christensen. And they could have called a foul easily on Helms on that possession. They let it play out. And they call it on the other end with Kenyon Jackman Thomas. A lot of contact on Nolan Christensen on the other end.
Well, that's really been kind of the first few minutes here, Joe, is a lot of contact, a lot of fouls, a lot of missed passes, turnovers, a lot of whistles blown here in just the first few minutes.
Not a very fluid opening minutes of this one. A very kind of bully ball kind of basketball here in this first half. And you know what? In a situation like this, we might expect this.
Yeah.
Both teams playing for their basketball lives as the turnover goes against Scottsdale. Could be a lot of half-court battles and physicality. And the thing for Scottsdale, they got more bodies to play with than Chandler-Gilbert. As Alejandro checks back in, Nolan Christensen out.
And Joe, Scottsdale and Chandler-Gilbert have always been rivalry teams. Two teams that play hard and want to take the win over each other. As Alejandro goes up and over, he'll take another attempt, and that's good. But these two teams always fight hard and go at it, and I think Alex Williams saw the height difference between him and Nolan Christensen and was trying to take advantage of that.
Price the other way. Javen, and one. Javen strong, electric. Picks up the foul on Kenyon Jackman Thomas. And Javen full throttle and just accelerated, and now he's got a shot at the three-point play. 13-9, Zach Anderson coming back in. Kenyon Jackman Thomas from Tacoma, Washington, stepping out.
Good shot.
And Javen answers the three-point play. And after a 5-0 deficit, the Coyotes have taken a 14-9 lead. Early in this one, both teams battling for playoff position. It's essentially a playoff game for all these teams down the stretch. Hamlin shoots it out. Anderson catch and shoot, and he is out of bounds, going the other way. And that Coyotes bench led by Will Coates, who has to play a cheerleader. And that's the last thing Will Coates was hoping for. Leading the team in scoring and three-point percentage, and suffers that lower body injury and has to watch at the most important part of the season. That's got to be a killer for him, and you know it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Will is such a great competitor and such a good kid.
Well, I talked to Will about his injury just today, and he said he's working on it. They're trying to recover and get it healthy, and he's hoping to come back soon. Nothing for sure, but he's trying everything he can to get back out on this court.
Javen, little spin, scooping in. Javen coming up big. He's got 5 points, 16-9. Chandler-Gilbert. Anderson. Steal by Price. Price. No hesitation. Works right at Anderson. And they're going to call the foul on Anderson. And that's his second. And the Coyotes would love to see the sharpshooter from the Artichokes get in foul trouble. Price back at the line. Jamin, a 64% free throw shooter. Connects on the first.
And you gotta love Javen taking advantage of what was kind of slipped off to the side defensively, but they didn't read it right. Scottsdale there and passing it right into his arms and then attacking with just such great passion. I mean, leading to the other end, getting the free throws.
7 first period points for Jamin Price. 18-9. Almost a very errant pass by Zach Anderson. Just threw it out there. Arizona lets it go. That's off the back of there. And Javen, who's playing on both ends,
Absolutely.
and then some. Javen reads it well, pulls it back out. Ollie Hinder picked up by Yancey. Hinder, couple dribbles. Thomas, who hit that three earlier. Thomas works it to Ollie. Ollie banging down the blocks. Ollie, little spin, kicks it out to Lockie. Lockie shoots it over. Nolan Christensen thought about it. Shot clock winding down. Thomas puts it on the deck. Little floater. Won't go, and that is pushed back up by Nolan Christensen. And a timeout on the floor. The Coyotes, after a 5-0 deficit on a 20-4 run, and now lead 20-9, as Scottsdale's got to blow a timeout.
Yeah, what a huge, just few minutes there. Them coming in strong where it really felt like both teams playing shaky, not finding their rhythm, and somehow the Coyotes pulled it together, started with those first few threes, and now they seem like they're off to the races, and Javen Price leading that march.
And Javen Price having an electric first period, doing it on both ends. 7 first period points and grabbing that rebound in that last possession, which was huge. And that's what this team needs right now. Look, playoff basketball, everyone's got to contribute.
Yeah.
No one has to find any kind of softness in them. They've got to battle and get to the basketball and find every way to contribute.
And you know, Joe, we saw Ollie slip a little bit there offensively when he fell to the ground, but I like that he's body checking. He's putting his body into his defender, testing the rim. He's playing aggressive, and I like that.
Yancey up top, picked up by Ollie. Ball on the court for a near second by Tyson White. 7 on the shot clock. Yancey going up and in. Yancey, strong move underneath. 20-11. Javen Price, now they got Tyson White on Javen. Tyson, 6'4", $190, a sophomore. Thomas off the mark, pulled up by White. White showing his ability to handle the basketball. Anderson down, and they're going to call the foul on Hinder. And Ollie with his second foul as Connor and Cohen about to check back in. And those are the worst, the ticky-tack fouls, right? I mean, the little reach-in foul that you hate to see, and Ollie now has 2, and still a lot of time left in this first half.
And as a player, when you see the refs are calling fouls like that, you just have to be extra cautious and realize, you know what, I got to play the game a little differently to make up for those fouls that they're going to be calling.
Tyson White going up in traffic and pulls it down. And they're going to call the foul on Connor Aldridge as Tyson White .75% free throw shooter. 1-on-1 situation here. Nice and smooth for Tyson White. 20-12, Chandler-Gilbert started trailing out of the gates, a little sluggish the first 3-4 minutes, down 5-0, and now they have found their footing. And Tyson White rights the ship for the Artichokes, connecting on 2 free throws. Cohen Aldridge swings it up top to Connor, back to Cohen. Cohen, little floater, won't go. Yancey, Javen, Ollie, one dribble, and Ollie connects. And the good vision by Javen Price saw Ollie wide open. I love Ollie being aggressive.
Yeah.
Didn't settle, took a step in, and then floated it in for the hoop. And how about Ollie on the other end? And Ollie gets called for the foul. We talk about foul trouble. Now Ollie's got 3. He's going to have to sit. 9:53 mark. And Steve Silsby working the referees. Not happy with that call, as Nolan Christensen could be close to checking back in.
And that is a tough one. When you're as tall as Ollie Hinder, and you can see him specifically going up hands straight, trying to keep his body as vertical as possible so he's not body checking, not slapping on the hands, and you still get called, that's tough. Obviously, it comes down to the ref's decision and what they saw on the court. We have a limited view, but that's tough as a player, especially when you're trying to get more aggressive and play your game.
Kenyon Jackman Thomas putting up 7 and 3. 74% free throw shooter. Misses on the second. 22-14. Nolan Christensen, top of the key. Works it to Connor. Cohen, Lockie in the corner. And Lockie cans it. Lockie McCain with a purpose. His second three of the half. 25-14. And now Curtis Millage having a conversation with his team. Maybe a misunderstanding on the defense they ran in that last possession, but no question, Lockie McCain left wide open, so someone lost track of the wonder from down under, and he made them pay with a three in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, smart play by the Coyotes, reading the defense well and taking advantage of it. And we talked about this in the women's matchup. Scottsdale on the women's side just capitalizing on the small wins, the small moments, and taking advantage of it. And the Coyotes here taking advantage of that exact same thing, the small wins, and just slowly but surely gaining an advantage over the Artichokes.
So we talk about how big this game is. Pima is at Glendale tonight.
Oh,
so
wow.
1 versus 2. And a huge matchup there. We'll look at the rest of the matchups in just a moment. And they work it up top as checking in for the first time is Emmanuel Edwin. Tyson White trapped underneath. They work in the corner. And that is a little too strong for Jackman Thomas. And the Coyotes, a lot of white jerseys down in the blocks, and it works to their advantage. And Tyson Helms checking back in as Tatum Arizona checking out. Helms, a leader, guiding the ship offensively for this team. He's got 2 points in his first half. Javen Price inside. Nolan Christensen on the great feed from Javen. Nolan, his second bucket.
And what a great follow. I mean, that was just a crisp screen, roll, pick and cut right to the basket.
27-14. Edwin. Helms. Nolan Christensen is there. Helms loses the handle. Lockie. He's got Cohen. Cohen gliding. Won't go. Lockie in the putback. Lockie McCain playing both ways. He's got 8 points. 29-14. A 15-point lead for the Coyotes as Alex Williams about to check back in. Jackman Thomas, and now you see Scottsdale playing isolation basketball, which is not a good sign for Coach Curtis Millage. 8 on the shot clock for the Artichokes. Christensen. Now Jackman Thomas on the floor. Off the mark, Edwin going up, and Edwin will shoot a pair. Edwin with the pink shoes will have the opportunity to punch his ticket in the box score. They're going to call the foul on Nolan Christensen. Edwin at the line. A 34% free throw shooter. A misfire on the first. Williams checks back in. Jackman Thomas checking out. And you got to figure every time Alex Williams is off the floor, that gives the Coyotes the ability to really work around the rim.
Absolutely.
Williams is a tremendous, long, lengthy defender. And when he's not in, it just gives the Coyotes room on the perimeter, gives them rooms down below. McCain, another three! Lockie on fire. 3 first half threes. He's got 11. The lead is 18. And Alex Williams, as we just talked about, puts it in. Williams now with 4 points. Cohen, the fake. Shoots it over. McCain wide open. Wow. McCain, another three. Lockie, nuclear. And the Coyotes leading by 19.
And Lockie McCain just has that ability. When he feels it, he can take over game just like that on both ends, defensively and offensively.
Tyson White tries to split a couple defenders. Tyson White, nowhere to pass. Almost taken away by Cohen. Zach Anderson, Helms, 4 on the shot clock. They work at Anderson. Catch and shoot. Off the mark. McCain with the rip. Another great defensive possession by the Coyotes. Now Javen Price swings over to Lockie. Lockie will let it go. Lockie, another three!
Wow.
Lockie McCain,
Oh my
5
goodness.
first half threes on fire. The lead is 22 and McCain taking over. Tyson White, baseline, blocked by Cohen. And they're going to say that Jaden was out of bounds, but what a performance by Lockie McCain. Catch and shoot,
cow.
no problem. Sizzling from beyond the arc.
And I mean, Lockie McCain feeling that he had it in his bag to pull up from way deep. And I mean, that was as contested of a shot as contested could be, Joe.
Inbounds. Anderson misfires from 3. Pulled down by Tylen Holloman. And Holloman will shoot a pair. And they're going to call the foul on Lockie McCain, his second.
And that's another one of those tough fouls where ball's up high in the air, you're both grabbing at it, and looks like Lockie maybe got tangled around Holloman's arm on the way down, and it's tough to get out of those situations when you've already got it in there.
Holloman buries his first. Limited opportunities from the free throw line, 63%. Misses on the second, and Thomas is there. And the Coyotes are content working it up methodically, working on the clock and looking for a good possession. Mullowney up top. Thomas guarded by Arizona. Thomas gets it to Javen. Javen tries to split a couple defenders, works it to Mullowney. Mullowney off the mark. Loose ball. And the Artichokes get the call. And that was actually a really good defensive possession for Scottsdale. It almost seemed like for 4 minutes, they fell asleep defensively.
Yeah.
Not guarding the perimeter and not knowing their assignments. Helms, little spin. Off the mark.
And I'll tell
Cohen.
you, Joe, if Scottsdale wants to get back in this game, this is their opportunity. Obviously, Alex Williams back in the middle and Ollie Hinder sitting due to some foul trouble. So this is their opportunity to really take advantage.
Right now, it's Chandler-Gilbert looking a step quicker. Scottsdale looks like they're running through quicksand right now. And Cohen helps the cause. It's all about urgency. Look, we're past the halfway point of February. It's playoff basketball for all these teams that are in the running for a playoff seed. And who's to say, as Cohen connects on both, that one of these teams couldn't go on the road and knock off Pima.
Yeah.
You never know on any given day. All about energy, effort, focus, hustle. Shot is up from the outside. That's off the mark. Holloman swings it. Connor comes up with it. Connor had Cohen on the other end. Tracked down by Tate in Arizona. Price swings it to Thomas. Thomas with Holloman on him. Williams on top of the key. Javen, couple dribbles as Helms comes out. Javen splitting. And they're call a tie-up. And great defense from Helms. Really worked Javen Price on that possession. 40-17.
What you gotta love too, Joe, is it's quick and controlled. Sometimes you see teams take a big leap and they're fast and moving quickly, but things are all over the place. But tonight, the Coyotes look quick and controlled.
Kobe Mott, number 11 in the game. And Helms will shoot a pair. Also in, number 10, Isaiah Olayinka for the Artichokes. Helms on the first. And if you're the Coyotes, you want to build upon this lead because you know at some point the run is coming from Scottsdale. Too good of a team. And you know at some point they're going to figure out their defensive assignments.
Right. Absolutely. Take advantage of the opportunity you have. Capitalize on it.
Javen working his way out of the double team in the backcourt. Connor. Thomas thought about it. Thomas, little spin move. Thomas. And Thomas draws some contact. That will go on Isaiah Olayinka, his first. Both teams in the bonus. One-on-one situation doesn't play out well as Williams pulls it down. Tatum, Arizona. Cohen on him. Winding down to 4 minutes left in this first half.
Good steal.
Thomas with the steal. Helms the other way. And Helms with the good defensive play. And you love to see that from Tyson Helms. I mean, right now his team needs a spark, and something like that can ignite the team and lead to a good defensive possession and maybe a good offensive possession on the other end. But for Chandler-Gilbert, Kobe Mott in that corner. Javen Price. They work to Connor down in the blocks. Javen gets it back. Javen in the lane. Controls his pivot foot, gets a knockdown and gets it back. Javen pulls it out. 10 on the shot clock. Javen lets it fly from 3. That one rolls around the rim. Pulled down by Holloman. Arizona swings it to Alex Williams. Olayinka loses the handle. Thomas checking back in. Mott checking out. Helms off the inbounds. Works it to Holloman. Cohen on him. Tatum, Arizona. Swings it over. Olayinka. Off balance. Off the mark. Alex Williams doing what he does. Physicality and then some. He's got 6 points. 40-21. And now the Scottsdale bench chanting for some defense.
And if there's one chink in the armor of the Coyotes here tonight, it's going to be Alex Williams in the down low paint, making things happen for Scottsdale.
10 on the shot clock. Work to Teagan. Cohen in the corner. Cohen, step back. And Cohen buries it. Big shot by Cohen Aldridge. 42-21. Coyotes with one of their best offensive halves of the year. Olayinka to Holloman. Worked over to Helms. Tatum, Arizona. Almost lost the handle. Helms driving. Pulled down by Javen. Javen works his way out. Good move by Javen Price. Alex Williams. Almost a great pass inside. Now it's Connor and Holloman, and it's going the other way. .227 left. These two league rivals with so much at stake. Scottsdale trying to claw their way up out of the 4 seed. Chandler-Gilbert trying to maintain an opportunity at the 2 seed. Of course, a big matchup tonight, Pima at Glendale.
Yeah.
Glendale more than motivated with the undefeated Aztecs coming in town. And right now, Pima with a 37-23 lead over the Gauchos. That Pima team, led by head coach Brian Peabody, just so on point. Cohen J. Gonzalez, the wave of talent. Gabe Oldham, a big force. Max Marley, a dynamic team. Mulhowney off the front of the iron. Also in, Logan Willis for Scottsdale. Ball loose on the court. Cohen, no hesitation. Cohen couldn't bank it in. Connor on the pullback could not knock it down. Buck 23 left in the half, 42-23. Alex Williams and the kiss. Williams has got 8 points. I'm a big Alex Williams fan. He is a good-looking ball player from Carrollton, Texas, Hebron High School. Coyotes working their half-court offense. Thomas, they dump it inside at Connor. Holloman could have been called for the foul on the reach over. Javen, Cohen in the corner. Javen to Cohen.
Ooh.
And Cohen knocks down the triple. Cohen with 7, and the lead is 20. 28 seconds left. Called a 7-second shot clock to game clock differential in the Coyotes' possession, and that should go in the Coyotes' favor.
And I'll tell you, Cohen Aldridge has given 100% effort, not only offensively, obviously that great three-point shot just a few seconds ago, but anytime the ball was loose, he is diving on the floor, chasing after it, and kicking it back to a teammate so they can get that rebound and get back on offense.
So the Coyotes will play for the final shot here in the first half. Up 20, everything going the Coyotes' way. And the man that made it happen is the Thunder from down under, Lockie McCain. Simply sizzling. 5 first half threes. He's got 17 points. Coyotes would love to have the lead and have some great momentum going in the locker room. Javen almost has it taken away. Now Javen, as Scottsdale wanted the travel call. 8 seconds left in the half. Shot clock, game clock. Javen strong. Blocked by Alex Williams, and they're going to call the goaltending. And Javen gets the call. And now Scottsdale will have 1.6 seconds left in the half. Willis will fire it down court. And that is how the first half is going to end. And what a half for the Coyotes, leading 47-25. And Lockie McCain took advantage of some spotty Scottsdale defense. 5 first half threes, 17 points. Cohen Aldridge with 7 as well. You have Javen Price coming up big. He's got 8 points. Nolan Christensen with 4. Ollie Hinder got in foul trouble. He's got 4. You got to love the robust box score by the Coyotes in this one.
Yeah, the energy has been electric. The team has really just exploded off those few slow minutes right at the beginning, and then the half just really ticked by after that. But you got to love that they're capitalizing on the good moments that they have. Not getting shaken by the missed play here or there or the bad pass, but seeing the opening, which was the slow pace of Scottsdale, and just attacking. Lockie McCain obviously leading that march, but you got to love when the energy of one feeds the rest of the team, and you can hear that Coyotes bench. They're howling, they're hollering, and they're excited for their boys.
Coyotes tied with Glendale for the 2 seed, both 8 and 6. They'll face off Saturday here at the Coyote Center. And right now, it's Glendale losing at home to Pima. Last we checked, it was 37-24 in the first half. We'll take a short timeout from the Coyote Center. Artichokes and Coyotes, home team, loud and proud, leading 47-25 at the half. And we welcome you back to the Coyote Center, the home team, trying to keep pace with Glendale for that 2 seed. And the home team behind Lockie McCain's 5 first half threes with a 22-point lead. And Matt, this was easily the Coyotes, one of their best offensive halves, but maybe their best complete half of the season.
Oh, no doubt. And what we love to see is the hunger, right? The desire to be out here, to play hard and to win. And everyone's doing that. Obviously, the big shots from Lockie McCain, Cohen Aldridge, those are going to make huge impacts, and they have with this great lead that they have. But on the opposite end of the court, defensively, they're attacking, they're trapping, they're jumping on the loose balls, and that makes a huge difference to getting you back on the other end to play offense.
Zach Anderson, Scottsdale's leading scorer, 12 points per contest, only 1 basket in this one. They are paced by Alex Williams in his 8 points, but we give Lockie McCain a lot of credit, but we saw complete performances. Cohen Aldridge, 7 points. Javen Price, 8 points. Nolan Christensen, tough off the bench with 4 points. Ollie, foul trouble early, 4 points. Connor Aldridge with 3. So now the Coyotes, and I love the fact that Ollie sat for most of the first half, and they did this with him on the bench. And now Lockie McCain is back on the court, and we've been waiting for a Lockie McCain explosion. We haven't seen it so far. It's been a very difficult year. He had the lower body injury, the foot injury, kept him out most of the first half. He comes back, and, I'm sure the first 5 or 6 games, he's just going to catch his wind. Yeah. Now he's 100% in good shape, doesn't have to worry about an injury, and finding his stroke in just the right time for this team.
No doubt. And this is really some late season last year, Lockie McCain, that we had, and it's good to see him back, especially this crucial time for their team.
It's worked up top. Zach Anderson talked about, kept in check in his first half. Alex Williams, strong off the glass. Alex Williams now with 10 points. Cohen Aldridge, Javen Price, Lockie McCain, Carter Crabb, Ollie Hinder on the floor. Kenyon Jackman Thomas, Zach Anderson, Javen Yancey, Tatum Arizona, and Alex Williams on the floor for Scottsdale. Javen's got an opportunity from 3 and just a little too strong, and Cohen tracks it down, but Tatum Arizona gets it back, and that's going to be a reach-in against Cohen. And that was the first time in a long time that we actually saw Scottsdale winning that loose ball battle. And give a lot of credit to Tatum Arizona, backup point guard who's come in and provided a little spark for his team. And for Scottsdale, they've got to crawl for everything. They got to crawl and fight and battle. Chew some ankles and fight for every possession. It's worked around the key. Tatum Arizona, Javen Yancey, moved down below. Over Ollie, won't go. Carter rips it down. Carter, a quiet first half.
I know, Ray, Joe, obviously that didn't turn into any points for Scottsdale, but you can tell they're trying to execute on an offense now that we just didn't see in the first half.
Carter going strong, and Carter with the strong move in the baseline on the feed from Javen will shoot a pair. And that is against Alex Williams, and they're saying that's his third. And talk about going at the right player. They'd love to see Alex Williams foul out of this one. Carter, opportunity, and smooth his first point of the game. Carter's one of those guys. He does all the dirty work, battles. Has shown he can hit that little 10-foot jumper as well, and that one in and out. Ollie underneath. Ollie tries to spin it back in. Tatum Arizona up the floor. Arizona works to Zach Anderson. Anderson on the floor, a little floater, won't go. Carter, another rebound. Talk about his toughness. Now he's picking up the intensity. Javen swings it over to Cohen. Cohen, strong first half. Javen, strong first half. 8 points, Cohen with 7, and Lockie, nuclear. 17 first half points. 8 on the shot clock. They work it to Ollie inside. Ollie. And one. Great recognition by Lockie McCain feeding the big fella. And Kenyon Jackman Thomas with the foul.
And I love that Ollie didn't let the defensive player slow him down. He went hard. He saw the contact coming, and he went, I got to get this up in time to make this a good shot. So kudos to him for the quick reaction and really pounding the board.
That one off the mark. And Kenyon Jackman Thomas loses the handle. Down the floor, Carter underneath. And Carter on the reverse misses the bunny. Tate in Arizona will stop and pop and connect. Tate in Arizona, who has been very selective in ripping some shots off and knocks one down. 21-point lead for the Coyotes. And you got to expect that run from Scottsdale is going to come at some point. Carter Crab over to Cohen inside to Ollie. And they're going to call the foul on Alex Williams. And that's his fourth. And he's got to check out. And checking in, Logan Willis from Blue Springs, Missouri.
And that's going to be a big hit for the Scottsdale team. I mean, the Artichokes need Alex Williams in this game. He's their primary post. He provides a lot of protection around the rim, but also offensive prowess in the paint.
Off the inbounds, Javen. Ball's lost down in the box by Cohen. It's going to go the other way. Steve Silsby fired up off that bench. And Tate in Arizona, last possession down, showed his ability to hit a 10-footer. Cohen almost came away with the steal. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Right now it's Pima leading the Gauchos at the half, 43-35. Tate in Arizona, inside to Yancey, and the miscommunication on the pass. Ollie checking out, Connor checking in. Coyotes with a 47-25 halftime lead. As we saw in the first half, both teams a little sluggish. And now starting the second half, both teams a little sluggish offensively. Kenyon Jackman Thomas, his third foul.
And I like Javen Price coming out and making that attack right there. Got the foul, they'll pass from in bounds, but I like the energy. That's what they need right now.
Cohen Aldridge shoots it down to Carter. Picked up by Javen Yancey. Connor shoots it to Cohen. Cohen with the flush! And that gets the Coyotes bench up and going.
What a read.
Cohen, high and hard. Rallying the rim, 52-29. Cohen with 9 points. Logan Willis tied up. Jackman Thomas has to work it out to Zach Anderson. Jackman Thomas fires it up, misfire. Carter with the rip. And Javen up the left side. Carter slicing his way through. Carter underneath, outworking, and puts it in over Javen Yancey. And Carter Carab and the Coyotes right now simply outworking the Artichokes. The lead is 25.
And that was just dirty work from Carter. I mean, he got in there, he muscled through, pushed past the defense, and that's all you could want from Carter Carab right there.
Javen Yancey with Carter on him.
Good hand.
Taken away by Cohen. And the Coyotes will methodically work it up the floor. Lockie, his first three in the second half. That one a little too strong. But he had the look.
Yeah.
And once again, Scottsdale not doing a good job defending the arc. Anderson And Anderson will go to the line on the foul by Jamin Price. Anderson getting up slowly. And the good display of sportsmanship as Price goes over and checks on the status of Zach Anderson. And they're going to say that foul was before the shot, so non-shooting. Tate in Arizona works it to Yancey. Now Ollie Hinder back in the game. Arizona, some dribbles. Works it to Zach Anderson. Anderson throws it up, won't go, and Yancey can't corral it. Another good defensive possession. 54-29, 14:52 left in this one. A monumental game for both teams. Chandler-Gilbert tied with Glendale for the 2 seed at 8-6. Ollie down in the blocks. Ollie the floater, and Ollie gets it to go. Ollie with the soft touch. He's got 6 points. 27-point lead. Jackman Thomas goes baseline. Willis. Jamin Yancey inside. Another turnover by Scottsdale. Thomas on the other end. Hinder almost thought about it. He was dialing that one up, and his dad's like, how come you didn't take it? Thomas underneath in the basket. And everything going right now for the Coyotes. And you got to wonder at some point if Curtis Millage is going to call a timeout. Trying to let his team play through it, but right now they are falling apart. 29-point lead as Zach Anderson, that is, connects on the 3. 58-32.
And Joe, we've been a part of some games where the Coyotes, we've seen, they just have to work through some of the the fumbles that they're having that night, whether it's just an off night, it's an away game, whatever it may be. So you got to wonder, is Curtis Millage allowing them to just work through just kind of the pain and suffering of having an off night?
58-32. Connor off the miss. Tate in Arizona, blocked by Thomas. Pull up in the corner, off the mark. And the Coyotes will take their time. Riding a 26-point lead.
Wow.
We thought this one would be a nail biter. Instead, it's a Coyotes coronation as Thomas connects on a 3. Thomas now with 8 points.
And Coach Silsby's, you can hear him, he's fired up. He's telling his boys to keep working, keep at it, don't slow down. And that's the kind of energy you want from the coach leading into the end of season playoff tournament.
61-32. We anticipated a nail biter. Instead, the Coyotes have made it a showcase for their best game of the year. Jackman Thomas with Connor on him, top of the key. 20 in the shot clock. Willis over in the corner to Anderson. Down low, Jamin Yancey picked up by Hinder, and they're going to call Yancey on the travel. Holloman and Hamlin checking in. And a timeout on the floor, 61-32. And Thomas, a strong second half with 5 points. And once again, contributions up and down the lineup.
Yeah, it's been a great night just from that aspect alone. The fact that Coach Silsby can put any number of combinations out on the court, and they're taking their opportunities. They're landing their shots. Lockie McCain being one of many. Javen Price leading the march. And that's what you want to see from a team that's working together, that's cohesive. And they've been through the ringer this year. Lots of injuries, just one thing after the next. But the fact that they've really stepped up to the plate, it's great to see here on the home court leading to these last couple home games.
You know, it's very easy for a coach when he's got his whole lineup healthy and ready to go. But for Coach Silsby, it's been a fluid situation all year. Adversity one after another and after another. And just to be battling for the 2 seed, you got to wonder if this team was full throttle, if they had everyone healthy, where they would be.
Absolutely.
And maybe they would have the guns to compete with Pima.
Yeah.
because they'd have the bodies to go a little deeper. And right now, an update in that game, it's 51-40. Number 2 Pima over the Gauchos in Glendale. Of course, Pima undefeated, 15-0 in league play, ranked number 2 in the country, 27-0 overall. McCain will methodically work up the floor with Arizona. Now a conversation with the referees. Having a conversation, a discussion. 11:56, 61-32. And Coach Silsby getting an explanation. He gets one, we can only infer. That's all we can do. We can only dabble and think about what the rest were thinking about.
Yeah.
Carter Carab up top. Carter's been a force, filling up the box score with hustle and rebounds. Lockie ups it down to Carter. Carter, mismatch, and Carter, how about that? Just owns it. And the good recognition, Lockie saw he had Arizona on him. He fed him immediately, and Carter fills it up. Taking Arizona with no shot against Carter Carab down in the post.
And could that have been any more picture perfect? I mean, that was just a pristine play as far as backing a person up in the paint, little spin move and right to the rim.
Holloman, Arizona inside, misses the bunny. Mullowney in the ball game, and they'll methodically work it up the floor, and rightfully so. Coyotes, no reason to play run and gun with a 31-point lead. A 31-point lead.
Wow.
Connor Aldridge works it in the corner. Thomas lets it fly, and Thomas connects on the 3. And Soleil Thomas now with 11 points, 4 threes in this one. His best offensive game of the year.
Absolutely. And for those watching who didn't have the best angle, I mean, that was no easy shot. A scoop pass from Connor Aldridge down the baseline. He had to grab that ball low with the defender on him and still made that shot.
34-point lead. Edgewin in the game. Works it to Hamblin. Tarek Hamblin down in the blocks. Tries to shoot it over to Arizona. Out of bounds. Good defense by Thomas. And you can hear Coach Steve Silsby right to our right. Non-stop energy. No question, at the end of this one, he'll need a throat lozenge or two. Holloman loose inside. And the Coyotes will gladly give that one up after a good defensive possession, really making Scottsdale work the clock and earn that 2 points. Mullowney. Nolan Christensen works the top of the key, shoots it over to Lockie. Jackman Thomas. Lockie, step back. Lockie connects.
Wow.
Lockie McCain continues the hot shooting. He's got 19 points. His first bucket in the second frame. Mullowney. Coyotes have got numbers. Mullowney up and in. How about the steal by Tegan Mullowney? 70-34, a 36-point lead. And right now, Curtis Millage and Scottsdale wondering what bus ran them over as Edgewin with the floater. Working on 9 minutes left, and now Pima's open up that lead, 58-42 over Glendale. And Christensen will go to the line, so if Chandler-Gilbert can hold on, the Coyotes will have the 2 seed. Glendale will drop to the 3 seed. Scottsdale will remain in the 4th seed, and of course, Glendale and Chandler-Gilbert will face here Saturday. And that's a huge game because they've each won one game, so that's essentially a tiebreaker. And if they finish with the same record, the team that won 2 or 3 will win that tiebreaker.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it. Glendale is no joke of a team. They've got the athletes, they've got the power, and they can compete in this league just like anyone else. So that is a game that everyone should be watching.
Man, how about Nolan at the line? Connects on both. 72-36. Anderson. Hamlin. Picked up by Cohen Aldridge on the perimeter. Edgewin. Anderson lets it fly. That's off the mark. Jackman Thomas. Strong. And Jackman Thomas. Hard to the hole. 72-38. 8 and change remaining in this first half. Tegan Mullowney. Carter Carab over to Cohen Aldridge. Holloman right in his face. They shoot to the other side. Lockie catch and shoot. That rolls around the rim. Lockie looking for his 6th-3 in this one. Jackman Thomas. Anderson. Bottled up. Lets it go. And Anderson. Little soft touch. 72-40. Jamin Price about to check back in. As well as Ollie Hinder. Coyotes just have to match basket for basket. Nolan underneath, and Nolan lost the handle underneath. Carter's checking out. Carter with some tough work underneath. Jabin, a little one-on-one battle against Zach Anderson. Anderson dishes it out. Jackman Thomas won't go, and Connor pulls it down. Connor Aldridge. Up top to Jabin. Ollie Hinder back in the game. Ollie, 6 points in this one. Jabin looking for his first bucket in the second half. Connor lets it fly. Connor, all net. Connor Aldridge, his 2nd 3. He's got 6 points. 75-40, and a good possession for the Coyotes as well. Anderson on the other end. Zach Anderson now with 8 points. 75-42, under 7 minutes left. Just a tremendous effort by the Coyotes. Connor works it to Ollie Hinder. Swung over, Cohen Aldridge. Cohen. Connor thought about it for a split second. Ollie down in the blocks against Holloman. And that's going to be a foul on Jackman Thomas. And Ollie will take that. And that's the 4th on Jackman Thomas. Non-shooting.
16 foul on the Artichokes.
Connor on the back door, gets it in. Connor's sliding his way in. Anderson works it up top. Hamlin. And Hamlin fills it up. He's got 5 points. Jabin on the other end. Jabin saw the mismatch and went right at Tate in Arizona.
And Jabin's really been so good tonight about his pacing, his control when it came to driving in, taking the lane, maybe getting to the line, and dishing it out to his teammates. And it's that execution that makes him a good point guard, especially tonight.
And unlike that Pima game where he got those quick fouls, could never really get in a rhythm.
Yeah.
He came out strong early, saw some mismatches, and I think that's one thing we've really seen tonight is the Coyotes have really identified the mismatches.
Absolutely.
And they've taken advantage, whether it be Carter, Jabin, Ollie, of course, finding Lockie open on multiple occasions out on the perimeter. 79-45. 6 minutes left. Hamlin won't go. And Cohen pulls it in. Tiptoeing right in front of the baseline. Carter Crab about to check back in. Ollie up top. Swings it. Works it over. Javen. Javen pulls it back out. Ollie. Shot clock winding down. Javen will let it fly. Over Williams. Off the mark. Anderson. Javen back on defense. They dump it down to Hamlin. Cohen on Hamlin. Edgerwin swings it to Alex Williams. Williams going strong. Blocked underneath by Connor Cohen. Make that Cohen Aldridge on the block. And a timeout on the floor by Steve Silsby. So the lead was 47-25 at the half. And the Coyotes have piled it on. Now leading 79-45. And of course, it starts with Lockie McCain, but Slade Thomas, that is, with 8 second half points. He's got 11 in the game. Cohen Aldridge continues to play well. Carter Crab, 5 second half points. And then Lockie McCain with a deuce in the second half. He's got a game high 19 points. So we talked about in the pregame, everyone needs to step up for the team. Maybe they listen to the pregame show, or maybe they listen to the guru that is Obi-Wan Kenobi of Steve Silsby, because the mighty words have resonated throughout the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, they've really, taken it and ran with it. And I think it's never fun to be beat 3 times by the same team, Pima being that team that they just lost to on the home court last week. And you know what? They had some time to recover, a week off, a week to rest, practice, get their minds right. And I think this is the team they want to have leading into these playoff games. And it's good to see it coming in with just a few more home games and a few more away games. And this is the time to lock in, so I think they're doing a tremendous job.
And at Glendale, and just like Pima is known to do, they have blown it open against the Gauchos, now leading 69-46. So if Chandler-Gilbert can hold on, they will be the 2 seed with a 9-6 league record, and Glendale will fall to 8-7. And if Scottsdale, they can't come back in this one, they'll drop to 7-8 in the league.
Yeah.
Still, a lot of games left as Javen pulls up and shows the touch. Javen Price.
And you got to love when a player is just automatic. There's no hesitation. They're just flowing into their shot. And that was a great example right there. Javen off the catch, right into the shot. Very smooth, very electric. And a lot of these players are hitting that tonight.
Shot is missed from the outside by Logan Willis. And that is the 5th foul on Alex Williams. And you hate to see that. And for a player like Alex Williams, a lot of his fouls tonight were of the ticky-tack version. He's too good of a player to be picking up such cheap fouls in the course of a contest. And he's got to realize that he's the kind of player for this team, he's got to stay on the floor.
Right. Absolutely. And that's just one of the tough parts of the game, a tough learn. You want to be playing aggressive. You're down a significant amount. You're trying to energize your team. But when the fouls aren't landing in your direction, you got to read and play that into your game as well.
1-on-1 situation, Scottsdale. 8 fouls. Carter, now he's starting to fill it up. 6 points. So tough on the glass in this one. And hits both. Carter with 7 points. Good night for him. Steve Silsby out on the floor as if this game just started. Anderson will spin move and the pull-up. Off the mark. Edgerwin could have easily been called for a foul on the over the top on Carter. And Javen will slow it up as Coach Silsby has called for his team to go into the half court and just take its time. 83-45. Thomas, who's had a tremendous game. Cohen, caught underneath. Thomas in the corner. That's off the mark and almost tracked down as Tate in Arizona gets it for Scottsdale. Swings it out to Hamlin. He'll let it fly. And Hamlin gets the shooter's roll. Tarek Hamlin now with 8 points. Jabin Price swings it out. Thomas works in the corner. Jabin inside. Connor. Cohen left open. Cohen off the front of the iron. Edgerwin with a rebound. Edgerwin almost lost the handle. Gets the ball back. Tate in Arizona from long range. Off the mark. Carter. Glass hungry yet again. We don't track rebounds, but you check a box score tomorrow night, Carter's got to be close to double-digit rebounds and then some. Off the mark by Thomas. Arizona. Coyotes doing a great job getting back in transition all night long. No easy baskets as Logan Willis fires it up. His first bucket of the night. Winding down to 2 minutes. And Cohen right through the hands of Carter, but that was a good pass. I don't think Coach Silsby liked the pass, but that was a situation where the play was there. And Coach Silsby with a conversation for Cohen Aldridge to be a little bit noticeable of the time remaining on the clock and no need to work the alley-oop. Hamlin
And that's another
misfires on the first.
And that's another one of those tough parts of the game when you've been playing high-paced, high-speed, high energy all night long, and then you've got such a substantial lead, you got time to burn. You know, you slow your whole game, your whole rhythm down, and so it can be difficult to find your mark. But that's a part of the game as well. When you get into big, tight, or games like this, you got to be smart about your time and run the clock properly.
Kobe Mott and Harold Merrick in the game. Mott, number 11, Harold Merrick, number 3. Maloney, Christensen, and Connor on the floor. Coyotes love to be in this situation, giving some young players some valuable minutes and giving some players some much-needed rest as well. Arizona, Javen Yancey. And Yancey's had a tough game. Too many times inside, he's lost the handle. He hasn't been ready for passes. Hasn't been in a good situation athletically to make plays. And Curtis Millage and his team, a lot to think about. And this is kind of one of those losses where you really have to. And how about Harold Merrick with the bank off the glass? Good to see that for Harold. Has played sparingly this year and a good moment for Harold. Willis, another 3. Second 3, but for Scottsdale to be this late in the season and not to be fully mentally engaged and just to have it fall apart as well. A tough outing, and along the way, there's some opportunities in this one when the Coyotes started opening the lead. Some timeouts should have been called, and they weren't. And Curtis Mills let his team play through it. And by the time they got to the break, well, they were down 47-25, and it didn't get better in the second half.
Well, and Joe, you got to assume that this won't be the last time they play. If these teams go to playoffs, they will meet each other in that next round. And it's defeats like this when it's such a big spread. You know, the
Potentially, because, I mean, look, if it holds up, if the Coyotes be the 2 seed, Scottsdale's got to play at Pima.
Sure.
Coyotes would host Glendale here if things remain the way they are. So this is literally, now, of course, anything can happen, right? I mean, you never know what could happen. Connor will let it fly. And that rolls around. Nolan, tough underneath. And that's going to be a foul on Harold Merrick. 7.5 seconds left. But anything has happened. Of course, these teams, you can't count anything. You get to
Absolutely.
March. I mean, look, Pima's been gliding through the regular season. They've looked like a juggernaut, but anything can happen. And time is winding down, and the Coyotes on home court with a statement and then some. 85-54, getting it big done in a big way. And it starts with the hot shooting by Lockie McCain. 17 first half points, 5 threes. Matt, he was the catalyst that helped them build that 22-point halftime lead.
Yeah, so huge. Such great composure in the big moments and stepping into knowing what he could do and making it known. And I think that was really the big part. Lockie McCain, you mentioned, as kind of the catalyst there. I think Javen Price played a huge role as well. Playing hard, leading the team, really leaning into his skill set and knowing the balance between taking it on his back and taking it to the rim or letting his teammates have the ball and contribute as well. I think that's a great thing to see as we lead into these next rounds of games. But just a tremendous effort from both efforts. And obviously, Scottsdale not having the game that I think they wish they would have. But the Coyotes took advantage of that and really played it well.
Lockie McCain with 19, Javen with 13, Cohen Aldridge, 8 points, Carter with 7, Ollie Hinder with 6. Connor Aldridge came up late, 5 second half points. He had 8. Complete team effort by this team. We're going to take a short timeout, and we're going to hear from a couple of Coyotes. We'll aim for Lockie McCain and Javen Price. The bonus round of the Coyotes' big victory over Scottsdale, 85-54, coming up from the Coyote Center. And we welcome you back to the Coyote Center. And I'm looking for a fire extinguisher because someone has to put out Lockie McCain, simply sizzling from the outside. Game high, 19 points, 5 threes, 5 in the first half. Lockie, just come out, and you came out with a purpose, and talk about the hot shooting night.
I mean, it's what we've been talking about all week, is just coming out, bringing energy, and just sort of focusing on that. And so it was good to get hot, and you sort of, I know after I make maybe 2 in a row that I'm sort of feeling it and I can keep going. So,
and how big has like a night like this been for you? Because for you, it's been a long season. I mean, you missed most of the season with a foot injury. You come back, you probably just got to find your conditioning to get back in shape, and to finally break loose for all the ups and downs you faced this season. How satisfying is it?
No, it was important, just like getting confidence back, just trusting my shot again, and just sort of getting back into it. And it was an important win, so it was good.
And of course, coming in tonight, obviously the focus for this team was so big because tied for Glendale in that second seed, and Scottsdale right on your back trying to work their way up. So obviously for the team, you knew the stakes, and the team collectively played so well. And your thoughts on everyone contributing on the box score tonight?
I think it was amazing. It's just, that's what we need to do to win, especially by how much we did today, is just everyone contributing and, moving the ball around. It's pretty hard to guard 5 guys on the court at the same time. So that was a great win.
And not just a great win, but a dominating one, 31 points. Did you guys envision that you would put on this performance here tonight, and arguably your best performance of the season?
I mean, you never know with conference play. It could turn out to be anything. So, you're coming in, you always think it's going to be a tough game, but, we worked hard and got that good win. So
now you got Glendale coming in Saturday. Look, you're essentially in playoff mode.
Yep.
Every game is essentially a playoff game, and of course, Glendale's losing to Pima tonight, so you'll be in the second seed, but that one a big game because Glendale, if they beat you, they'll win 2 of 3 in the regular season, and they'll control the seed for the second spot if they should win out and you should win out. Your thoughts on Glendale Saturday here in the last regular season home game for the team?
I mean, it'll be a tough game, as always, especially when it's got the 2 seed on the line, playing home first finals. So it'll be a tough game, but it's just about bringing energy, playing good defense, and just staying true to what we do.
And Lockie, I know your family's across the world in Australia. I know they're dialed up. You want to say hi to anyone on the live stream across the world?
I think my parents are watching, so thank you for watching, and I appreciate you.
There you go, Mom and Dad, your boy, the wonder from down under. He knocked it down once, twice, 3, 5 threes in this one. Simply scintillating, 19 points. And I just want to make sure I didn't cheat him from a 3. Nope, 5. He's got 19 on the night. Coyotes with a big victory now in sole possession of the second seed. Keep it locked and loaded. Lots Lockie McCain, Javen Price with Matt McCurdy coming right up.
All right, we're back with Javen Price now on the broadcast. And Javen, obviously an electric night for you guys. Big win, huge points on the board, and really you leading the march.
Yep.
How did it feel playing as well as you did tonight? Really kind of felt like you were orchestrating the whole deal. So how did it feel for you tonight?
Oof, felt good to be back after the slump I went on against Pima. So I had to bounce back. Playing a great team like that, and Scottsdale always gives us their best game. So, I had to bring it tonight.
Absolutely, and obviously that Pima game, getting in foul trouble early, that's always tough. And tonight you were able to stay out of that. Did you take that into consideration tonight, really trying to stay out of foul trouble after that Pima game?
Of course, because it set my team back so much. Not having a floor general on the floor, defensive menace, I would like to say. So, yeah, I definitely had to tone it down. Tone it down a little bit, not reach.
Absolutely. And I mean, in games like this too, where it's so aggressive and everyone's giving their all, it's so hard not to get into the game, right? And be a part of it. And what is a night like this? Like a big win, obviously leading into a couple more season games, and then then we're talking playoffs. So what is a game like tonight? Having such a great win, what does that do for the team, fueling you up for these upcoming season games?
Um, Gives us more hope. Like, let us know that like we really can hang with the best, the Pimas and stuff like that. You know,
Absolutely.
the energy teams, the more physical teams, because we
Yeah.
struggle with rebounding and stuff like that. We beat a team like that who matches our size and physicality. It gives us hope. Like, we really can stick with some of these teams that are same size as us.
Absolutely, yeah. And Joe and I were talking just about that. Just you guys looked fresh, you looked crisp tonight, and it was quick but in control.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you want to see lean in. How was the team dynamic at that halftime? Right, you guys obviously had a lead, but what was it like? Were you guys felt locked in, or what? What was
Super locked in. We were
yeah.
in there like cracking jokes, but then it was like it shut off out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
come on, we got a whole 20 minutes, and we're trying to blow this game out to get to the benches early. You know, late game.
Yeah.
I mean, late in the season, you want to beat these teams and get to the bench early, so you're not playing as much,
Right.
consuming your energy and your body and stuff. So it was joking, happy, but locked in at the same time.
Absolutely.
Just shut it off out of nowhere.
Well, we could hear Coach Silsby even at the
Yeah.
fourth quarter, right? The last few minutes just yelling at you guys, keep going, really lock it in. And I think that's exciting coming
Yeah.
up for these playoff games.
100%.
Obviously, we got to see a few bench players kind of get to play on the court tonight. And we get to see little glimpses and hear glimpses of what's going on from the bench. But what is the dynamic of the team for those who don't get to see that firsthand?
Ooh, that's a tough question. She said it again. I'm sorry. I
No,
don't-
you good. Yeah, what is like the dynamic? You guys we get to see a little bit of like cheering on the other teammates, but
Right.
what is it like? Is it a good locker room? What's the energy like for you guys?
Oh, it's I mean, it's up and down for sure. Because I mean, when you're not winning, you're not happy. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So, but when we do win, we are like extra like loud and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But I mean, for the most part, our guys on the bench and our injured guys, like they keep us locked in. Like you probably can hear them like
Yeah.
screaming, shoot the ball, like telling us to do bad stuff. But they're just always like locked in. So I mean, those guys, they keep us going, win, lose, or draw. You know,
Yeah.
like they keep us going.
Absolutely. Well, just from the outside observer, you guys have a great culture. You guys
Yeah.
seem to all get along and just play as a unit, and that's been so obvious. So great work tonight. You did so
Thank
well,
you.
and we're excited for the future games. Javen Price, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good night.
So obviously, Jabin Price, big night, 13 points. Lockie McCain, lights out, 5 first half threes, finishing with 19 points. A collective team effort, and the Coyotes just really put it on Scottsdale tonight. Final in this one, just a blowout, 85-54. And,
Wow.
and I tell you what, down the stretch, this is so big for all the teams, all the top 4 seeds, essentially in playoff mode. Of course, Pima, it's well known they've got an X on their chest, so everyone's going to give them 150% effort. In Glendale and Chandler-Gilbert battling for the 2 seed, and Glendale losing tonight to Pima. So Chandler-Gilbert officially in that 2 seed, as Glendale will come to town here on Saturday. And Matt, for this Chandler-Gilbert team that has suffered through so much adversity, so many injuries, so much uncertainties, they fit the bill tonight. They came with a purpose, and you look, if they're going to get themselves in playoff mode and build momentum toward the end of the season, they started it in top form tonight.
Yeah, I mean, tonight was so huge, and you've really hit on that. I think, everybody, not even us, but the other teams, they look at the scores. They look at the teams everybody's playing. They're locked in, not just CGCC, but every team watching. And so tonight's a big deal because teams are looking to see, are they cracking under the pressure? Are they starting to slip later in the season? And tonight was a great announcement, especially after a loss to Mesa and a few other teams. Tonight was a great announcement that, no, we are locked in. We are here to win, and we're going to take this to the playoffs.
Absolutely, and the Coyotes know, and they're well aware they let one slip away at Mesa.
Yeah.
Mesa is struggling this year. Coyotes led by 10 and at the half, and we're outscored like 43-21 in the second frame. They're out rebounded, and they left that game disappointed and embarrassed, and knew they left an important win out in the win column there. And of course, losing to Pima at home, there's no disrespect in that. Pima ranked number 2 in the country, currently undefeated, but bouncing back and getting this victory. Now the Gauchos come to town. And for me, what I really loved is that everyone played a role.
Yeah.
Everyone really stepped up. There was no spectators. Everyone brought energy and effort. And I also love the fact that, Coach Silsby, throughout this game, he was fiery and demanded excellence and demanded accountability from his team. And in different moments, he pulled players aside, had conversations, and really set the tone by expecting everyone to deliver in some shape or form. And the great thing to see, and it's almost a coming out party
Yeah,
for Lockie McCain, who has really endured so much in the regular season. The foot
absolutely.
injury, he missed most of the first half of the season. And as we talked to him about that, he had to get his conditioning back. And now he's just getting back into full shape and finding his stroke and at just the right time.
Absolutely. It's couldn't come any sooner. And I think honestly, it's the prime Lockie McCain we saw from last season. But honestly, even better because he's had more games under his belt. And like you said, couldn't come any sooner. We're so happy to see a team that's really pulling through the adversity and, as they say, making lemons into lemonade. And that's really what they've done all season.
And for this team, you think about what they've done now 9-6 in league, 16-11 overall. The bulk of their lineup is freshmen.
Yeah.
So we're looking at Ollie Hinder, we're looking at Connor Aldridge, we're looking at Cohen Aldridge, we're looking at Javen Price, Carter Crab. They're all coming back next year.
Right.
That's your starting lineup, okay? They're starting fives coming back. You add some players that are redshirting this year to the mix, and all of a sudden this Coyotes team, they're going to be right in that hunt for the league title. Of course, Pima, they've got their share of studs coming back, and the amount of great talent they have in Mason Hunt, and of course Isaac Johnson, who's probably the most athletic player on that team, who doesn't get a lot of playing time. But the Coyotes will have a great nucleus returning. But of course, they're focusing in on Saturday's matchup now, and the Gauchos, they can absorb this one, savor it, but then Saturday they get back to work.
Absolutely. They got to stay hungry, and I think it's pretty clear that they are locked in and they're here for the long haul and they're ready to take it all the way.
Regular season game, the final regular season home game for the Coyotes. That's Saturday. Of course, the women will tip that off at 2 o'clock as the Gauchos come to town. The Gauchos on the women's side playing much better. Their coach in his second season doing a tremendous job, and he's out on the high school circuit trying to recruit talent to Glendale, and got to applaud him because they're in the playoff hunt and they're going to poach their ticket to the postseason. And then the Matin will suit up for a matchup 4:30 right after that one. We appreciate you dialing us up on the Seton Catholic. I call basketball for Seton Catholic for the Chandler-Gilbert Sports Network, from Matt McCurdy and of course Russ Lewis and all the good people here at Chandler-Gilbert. I'm Joe Pequeno. Good night for the men's basketball team. They get it done, knocking off the Artichokes in a big way. 85-54. Everyone take care and have a great night from Chandler-Gilbert.